Hi guys, welcome to 'Cause We Can Farms. I'm Heather, and 2 years ago I purchased 73 acres in northern Idaho and a wood miser sawmill. So I began building my off-grid homestead up here on the property and then decided it was too hard. So I invited my niece Kira to join me to help out with the builds.
I'm mostly here for the food.
So I convinced my best friend to come out and leave the city and help us out here on the farm with filming and building and other stuff.
Hi, I'm Kimmy.
And we're building a tiny house shipping container. Come on, let me show it to you. So if you don't know and you're new to the channel, we've been living in that RV building that shipping container treehouse tiny home. What has happened is it's become a mess in here again. And we're gonna have to shift some things because what I'm wanting to do today is start on a little bit of this framing, either down that wall or at least around this, to figure out exactly how many more 2x4s or 2x3s that I'm gonna need to pick up. So, and how, just try to figure out exactly how hard this process is gonna go. You guys know that I'm learning. If you've been watching the channel at all, you know that I'm learning as I go. And so definitely we've been jumping around and doing, you know, multiple different things here and there and not really had a build sequence that normal people use. So now that spring is coming and we're, you know, getting started on the garden and some other things, we haven't been in here for about, what, like 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So we're going to have to take a minute and do a little bit of organizing and then just kind of figure out how I'm going to do this framing of the walls. So here we go.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive.
I think how I want to run the wiring is through the ceiling. I've seen a bunch of different ways where they've done it. So we're working with 2x3s. We're not going to have like this huge amount of space. The 2x3 is actually only 2.5 inches. So I don't want to be drilling holes all the way through the 2.5 inches. So if we go on the top, it'll lay on the top, and then where we need it to drop down, it'll drop down. So there's like one.
So it'll be like up in the frame, up on the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
I'm tracking.
We do know that these are 2.5 inches, and we definitely want our ceilings as high as we can possibly be. So we've got the 1 inch insulation coming down. I know these are 7 feet 9. That one's, do you have something to push that up so
Sure.
it's...
I say sure.
I can't really see what.
I'm a big fat liar. I just moved it all.
Snug that up to the ceiling. The ceiling.
No, I was gonna try and.
No, I don't need you to hold this. I need you to push that pink thing up on the ceiling. There you go.
Wasn't sure what you wanted. Okay.
Okay, so that's right at 7, 8.5. So if we subtract, let go. If we, we're so professional. I'm sure the guys do that.
They absolutely do.
So thickness. That's a 2x, so it's a 1.5 inches thick. It's a 2x3 at Home Depot, which is really not a 2x3. It's a 1.5 by 2.5. So we have our bottom plate, and then we have a top plate, and we want it to.
Do we have to do math? Because I'm
Yes,
terrible.
don't talk to me while I try to do it in my head. Where's the pencil?
And people wonder why your things get messed up.
We brought it in. Let's see. Pull a couple of these out. Oh, I do need to take down that one. That was like shots fired. Loud. So, here's the hard part. Is we can't lay this down and assemble it because we can't lift it up and set it into place. We actually have to build it in place, which is so hard.
Because the stove.
So what I say that was 7 feet 8 inches and a half.
I do not remember.
That's what I said it was.
Okay. Do you need a piece of paper to write it on?
7 feet 8 and a half inches minus 3 inches because that's our top and our bottom. Minus.
You thought having me on the farm would help.
So our studs should be 7 feet 5.5 inches. But that doesn't give much of a space for wiring and stuff to run through.
When do we get these studs? Just saying.
Right? The hardware store. So minimum 7 feet 5.5 inches in height. Which if we are going to end up putting any kind of wallboard up, that means we have to cut 5 inches off of every one of them to 8 feet tall.
Wallboard being like
Sheetrock,
Okay.
drywall.
why? Okay,
Plywood.
why do we have to put that up? Because can't we just put? We were talking about putting.
So you don't have to.
What's the word?
Shiplap?
Shiplap.
Yeah. So you don't have to. I know up here up top we're going to be attaching cabinet. No, these are going to have not cabinets. We're not doing uppers on any of these.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing shelves.
Right.
Raw edge shelving.
So those would be easy
there.
to attach to shiplap, yeah?
Yeah, you could do the shiplap and then you just attach them to your studs and then you're good to go there. This house is going to be full of studs.
Yay! That wasn't really what I was thinking about, but...
So anyway, we could just attach those to the studs and not do that. I know we want the breathability of...
Sheetrock's just such a pain. I really
It's a
don't
pain.
even want to do it.
I don't even want to do it. And,
At least not this time. We have to do upstairs, don't we?
No.
No. Oh, yeah.
No, we could actually do OSB, and then you can attach anything anywhere with OSB walls or whatever.
That'd be good. Okay.
Yeah, that's but if we're running the wiring through, and it's just going to be running along the top part of our ceiling, basically.
Can't we just drill holes and have it go through?
Yes, but we have a very small amount of wood that we're working. We're working with a regular 2x4. We have 3.5 inches. We have 2.5 inches
Right.
in a whole inch. So basically, you're drilling a hole big enough, and it
Kind of
upsets the
compromises.
integrity of
Yep.
the
Compromises
of the wall.
integrity. Okay.
So that's why I want to run it through the ceiling, and then it's really easy to divide off and be like, oh, here we're gonna put some lights up top and that kind of stuff.
Then
Ceiling
does
lights
that
and
mean it
stuff.
has to go up before the frame?
No, you put the frame up and then
Okay.
you pull it through.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm leaving space
Gotcha.
for that to come through.
Okay.
Is the dealio.
I'm tracking.
So I am still researching if that's an okay way to do it. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
If you know if that's okay, comment below.
If we are going to regret this, then yeah, totally let us know. The only problem is the wall is supposed to hold this pink insulation up because you can see it got cold.
Right.
And we want it pressed up against the roof.
So in my brain, I'm thinking we have to do one wall, then the ceiling, and then the other wall. So, because otherwise you won't be able to get it out.
No, you have to do one wall, that wall, and then the ceiling.
So you do both sides, and then you like slide it in?
Well, the ceiling's not what you're thinking. We don't have to do
a whole frame.
I'll explain it to you later because they don't want to watch it.
Okay. I am brand new at all
20 minutes of what I've seen is they just do the 2x3s across the ceiling.
Gotcha.
They don't actually frame it like we're doing the walls.
So I'm making it too hard.
So you're making it really hard.
Okay.
And using lots of lumber.
Cool.
What do you
cool.
think? We own a sawmill.
We do.
We do.
But yeah,
So-
we want to save time and
yeah, so then basically we'll just set the 2x3s on the ceiling, and the ceiling is just to hold up our finished thing in here.
gotcha. Okay.
So
I'm tracking now.
but I don't know. I don't want these to butt all the way up. I do want them to butt up. No, I don't, because then the
Push it up.
ceiling ones have to. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to subtract another 2.5 inches, because that's what those are, and they will set on the edge and go this way, and those will hold up the pink insulation, and they'll be crosswise, and we can drill holes through those to very easily to run the wire through.
Okay.
So that makes 7 feet 3 inches for our studs to be, and that should give us all of the spacing that we need. Did that sound right, you guys?
I'm so excited for this to actually happen.
I know. So our goal for this week is to actually get the last window in and as much of this framing done as we can. We have, I think next week is our last week of in the 40s and raining.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to be doing a lot of work in here. And I know you guys are excited about that because you've been asking, when are we going to get back to building? So
we will be hopping back and forth between this and the garden because that has to get done. But
yeah. So if we have a really good day, we're going to jump out there. But we're going to try and get as much of this part done. And then for this build, we're waiting on money to come in to buy the wiring for the electric and all the electrical stuff. We already have the water lines, so those can go in. We could figure out all of that, but we've got that one window left, or those 2 windows left to do. And then the wall for the bedroom, and we can start framing out the bathroom and all of that. And so lots of framing. I know I did not buy enough framing material, so I'm just kind of wanting to see how much we zip through this, and we know how much it costs per 8-foot section.
Gotcha.
So those two stay the same size. We do need to pull out our bracing boards here, because this will be screwed up to that. These little walls.
Right.
And then we'll know exactly where this stove ends up being, because we'll have our distance from the wall.
Yeah.
Which will be really nice.
As much as I love this stove, it's been in the way a lot.
That's why I want to finish this area right here, because we could get our sink in, which the sink is going right underneath you guys, and we can look out this great window into the garden. So we could start hunting for the kitchen sink, which we have one, but it's not the one we want. And I really want to put in a deep country
farmhouse sink
in here.
Yeah.
I want to be able to put big pots in and all of that kind of stuff. So, because this is going to be a canning kitchen later. So, we want all of that. So then we could find our big cabinets our base cabinets that go in. The ones here will be the regular width, but these on the sides are actually going to be thinner. This will poke out, but maybe this corner will have a deep corner. We'll do a lazy Susan
yeah.
in the corners. And so that'll give us room. If the cabinets only come to, they can't see, if the cabinets only come to about right here, right here on the stove, which is the width of platters
Where
and
my
all of
belly
that. See right where your belly was. So it'll be a little bit of a bump out, but that'll give us way more foot space, traffic space. So, all right, so I'm just gonna cut a bunch of, actually I'm gonna lay out this wall. Our insulation is 20 inches wide, so we're going to continue with the 20 inches on center for the walls, because that makes it very simple to stuff them with that. Perfect. Which is what we're using for the insulation. If I knew we were going to wait this long, I literally just would have waited and bought spray foam insulation and we would have spray foamed this. But I didn't. Okay, now I'm just going to transfer these lines. There's Liam. This is his favorite thing. Why is one of these longer than the other? Like by a lot. Come look at this. That's insane. These were not cut on my mill. These were brought in from Home Depot. This is how they mess you up. All right, so I'm gonna have to cut that. So I'm just gonna. It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. Okay, so this is where our little studs land. Definitely. I think I did it again. I think I messed myself up again. Because I didn't start here by doing it into half. This is why we don't ever get anything done. So all of these have to be moved over an inch and a half.
Oh, no.
I didn't put the first one.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Can you flip them over and restart?
We don't do that. The guys don't do that. They just do this. Watch. So how you fix it. So we have an inch and a half here. Justin is cheerleading us. And then you go an inch and a half here. You don't care because it's never seen. It's hidden in the wall. There was somebody out there in YouTube land that saw me do that, and they just giggled and giggled and giggled.
I bet.
And they were like, Heather, you didn't learn from your mistakes last time.
Well, I would say, we have a little winter fog, brain fog.
Yeah, like every time I stop doing something and then I have to come back to it, it's like I've never done it. So we'll just squiggle those out. Make squiggly lines. We'll just have to advise our framer which side to put it on.
Life is in a stream. The ocean called for you
I don't have eyewear.
and me.
So it's not really Safety Sally.
I'm in this game, but without my closest friend.
Okay, so now we have to lay these down, and we're going to have to do the screws in at an angle or nails. I don't even know what we have anymore back here.
Didn't we just buy a box of screws? No, we haven't done that yet.
No, not done that. And then put the top one up and do the same. So instead of coming in from the back, which makes it really simple, we can't do that because we can't set this up. It's the hard part of building in place. So let's lay these down and figure out what kind of tools we had to do this with.
It shines so true.
We are going to have to put another board in here so that the plywood that we end up putting up on here, we have something to attach to. So I think we're going to do plywood in this whole thing, and then underneath, because this big cabinet will be right here. So we have that OSB that we'll put up on there, on that wall. So we'll have to add another layer into here. Might be able to just slip another one of these inside and attach it, and that might be enough. But it's such a pain to do it this way. It's like the hardest way to. I feel like. Everything that we built in this thing has been the hardest possible way.
Hey, but we're learning,
Exactly.
and we're gonna be amazing at the next one.
Well, what people normally do is they build these outside, and then they walk them in, and which we could. I got something in my eye.
Don't cry, it's okay.
Okay, dust in the eye. So I mean, we could build these technically outside and walk them in, or even
Put it through the window?
no, we could build them down there and lay them flatter in the living room or whatever, and then just walk it back. And we may end up doing that, but we've got all this other stuff in the way. Again, because
What stuff? I don't see any.
Well, tomorrow when we get that insulation moved, because we'll finish upstairs, so we'll get that moved. That'll be out of the way, so we may really have a clear area to finish doing these that way. And we could just finish cutting everything.
Okay, guys, so tell us if you think we'll have a clear area tomorrow. Let us know.
Depends.
Put it in the comments.
We probably don't have. Well, I don't know. We may use most of that in the ceiling of the treehouse part, because that's where that's going. But this is how much it'll stick out from the wall.
That's
it's
perfect.
It's not a huge amount of space, so that'll give us the most floor space, which is why I bought 2x3s instead of 2x4s.
You are smart and pretty.
Except for I have all this other stuff in here because, this came up and it was such a deal. We needed to buy it right now. It's okay. So we've got to figure out what screws we have available to us and wheel. We might have a little wall framed out.
You know what they say? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
Hey guys, we're going to call it for today. I know it's not a lot, but a little bit by little bit, we'll definitely get this done, hopefully this year. I do want to thank you for following along on the journey, and make sure that you're subscribed if you're not, and you hit the bell so that you can be notified every time we put out a new video. We do try to do Monday through Fridays, and we'd love to have you follow along. Make sure you leave a comment down below because we like to get to know everybody. So, good night.
Good night.
Woo! Let's see. Forgot what I was gonna say. I began building my off-grid homestead, and let's see. Nope. I invited. Oh, nope.
Hi, I'm Kimmy. Wait. I'm Kimmy. What in the heck? Oh, yes.
We're not friends.
Yes. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Just do your part. So last summer, what was I gonna say? I totally forgot. So last summer, I convinced my best friend Kimmy to leave her city. No. So I think I've decided how I want to run the wiring is through the ceiling.
Ooh. Okay.
Into the bottom board and on the top. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Did you stick your hand in there?
Yep.
What part do I need to redo?
He said, now we have to do the bottom boards.
Oh, the whole thing?
Pain in the butt. I don't know what part my hand was in there.